I'm the sidekick to the heiress of the Wilson family. She calls me her BFF. Buys me designer clothes and bags with her black card. And never lets me pay when we go out. Recently, Emily has developed a crush on Ethan, the hottest guy on campus. She wants me to pursue him instead. We can never be together. But I'll die inside if someone else gets him. You go for it, he's yours now. Help! How do I tell Emily I just slept with her brother last night? Chapter 1. You're my real best friend. Emma. Everyone else just wants my money. But you, Emily loops her arm through mine, resting her head on my shoulder. Her words make me squirm. Because I do want the money and her brother. I first saw John when he came to pick Emily up after school years ago. That jawline as he stubbed out his cigarette could rival a male model's. From that moment, I made it my mission to become Emily's permanent companion. Being the heiress's favorite has perks: chauffeured luxury cars, unlimited shopping sprees where price tags don't exist. This ordinary girl got a taste of the high life. I even pulled all-nighters to get into the same college, determined to keep this golden ticket. Emma. I'm crazy about Ethan. Emily sighs lately, her mood swinging like a pendulum. As her loyal shadow, I quickly agree, he's totally crush-worthy. Smart. Talented, though his family's pretty average. Like mine. Truth is, Ethan's the campus heartthrob. But to a Wilson heiress? He might as well be fast food. We're doomed from the start. Emily declares dramatically, suddenly stopping mid-stride. She cups my face, thumb brushing my dimple. But you could have him. My gorgeous Emma could bag him easy. Panic surges through me. How do I explain that my legs were still wobbly from last night's encounter with John? From Emily's perspective, I'd look like the worst friend ever. Maybe Ethan's not really my type. I hedge weakly. You literally just praised him. Her eyes narrow. But he's your crush, I squirm. Desperate to derail this madness. Exactly. If he dates you, I'll be happy for my bestie. If it's some random girl, I'll die. Her smile glows with sacrificial generosity, making my guilt triple. Inspiration strikes. What if I pursued John instead? The question slips out half seriously. Emily waves dismissively. Dad's already lining up his arranged marriage. Trust me. Chasing my brother only ends in heartbreak. We Wilsons don't get love stories, just mergers and acquisitions. The words hit like a gut punch. Deep down, I've always known this. John and I were never meant to be. These stolen moments? Just a bonus round. I'll think about Ethan. I mumble, staring at my shoes. Good. Ethan's perfect for you, someone from your own world. Right. My world of student loans and clearance racks. Not the gilded cage where John's destined to marry some oil tycoon's daughter. But damn. For someone who's supposedly settling, sleeping with John feels like winning the lottery every time. If you're really okay with it, I'll make my move. John had been unusually busy lately, sometimes taking hushed phone calls that I assumed were from his family pressuring him. As his unqualified girlfriend, I didn't even have the right to step through the Wilson family's front door. Good girl, Emma. I forced a smile while clutching the shopping list Emily had given me. Heading out to run errands for the heiress. I sent her a motivational sticker afterward. She had an exclusive gala to attend tonight, the kind with velvet rope security I'd never pass. After we parted ways, I crouched by the roadside drafting breakup texts. My 1,000-word emotional essay went through countless revisions but remained unsent. This marked the end of my year-long secret romance, our thrilling underground relationship finally reaching its expiration date. What kind of love letter takes half an hour to type? John's voice message arrived first. That familiar velvety tone wrapping around me like smoke. I deleted my carefully crafted message with a sigh. A hidden lover shouldn't presume to end things. Being dumped would stain his reputation. Miss you, babe. I backpedaled, firing off my usual empty affection. though fully aware John would never marry me. I kept up the hubby charisma. He'd initially resisted the pet name but grew fond of it over time. The typing bubbles appeared. I beat him to the punch. Babe, I'm obsessed with this $200K Birkin. Can I please get it? Attaching the sticker of a kitten mauling a money bag. John had always been generous. Far more than Emily ever was. But outright asking for designer goods? First time crossing that line. The wire transfer notification buzzed instantly. Treat yourself. Tears splashed onto my screen as the 6 zeros blurred. To John. This proved our perfect dynamic, me as the gold digger. Him as the indulgent patron. Emotional demands would only ruin this comfortable arrangement. After crying myself empty, I texted again through swollen eyes. You're the best. How about a penthouse at the Grand Gardens? Price? My breath caught, checking listings, 8 figures minimum. $9 million. I smirked, stopping short of typing $10M. I could already see his disapproving frown, confirming my mercenary nature. Dan will take you tomorrow. I nearly dropped my phone. Seriously? No backlash? My mind spiraled until I forcibly shut off the device. Next morning, Emily's message popped up, progress report? That's when I realized Ethan still hadn't accepted my friend request. Progress, -1%. He ghosted me. Ugh, typical. Took him 5 hours to add me too. I spent half the morning consoling the hungover heiress. Last night's gala had been prime caretaking opportunity wasted, no cozy soup deliveries or tender forehead kisses. Just me alone with my $9 million condo paperwork and crumbling moral compass. But thinking about John made me inexplicably upset. When I walked out of the library that afternoon, Dan immediately called to say the paperwork was ready for my signature. This has to be fake, right? Clenching my teeth, I got in the car expecting mockery, but Dan respectfully escorted me to the sales office instead. Is this real? I wanted to ask. Why wasn't anyone angrily denouncing this gold digger yet? Dan pushed the contract toward me. Confused. Mr. Wilson already picked out a villa. But he thought this location would be more convenient for you. My eyes caught the name printed on the document, mine. Sighing, I set down the pen. I'm sorry. I don't want it anymore. The account manager looked thunderstruck. Miss, please share any concerns. We'll resolve them perfectly. Money could be refunded. But property ties were messy. Why had John actually agreed to this? I bolted before things got complicated. He could always reclaim gifts after breakups anyway. Don't like it? John's voice came through the phone. That hypnotic baritone still ruthlessly calm. No. John. I've thought it through. Let's break up. I don't like you anymore either. Rich boys either clung harder to those who hurt them or moved on effortlessly. Better make it brutal. Silence stretched after my declaration. Checking the screen confirmed the call was still connected. I hung up decisively before blocking and deleting his number. Back at the dorm, Emily's reminder text arrived right on cue. So you actually have to click accept for forwarded contacts? This time, the friend request was approved instantly. A cheerful hi sticker popped up. Feeling spiteful, I spammed 15 dramatic stickers forming a sequence. See this flower? I'd rather trash it than give it to you. I should be charming him. But exhaustion weighed heavy. Tears threatened. But I swallowed them. No problem. Where did you throw it? I'll go retrieve it. Ethan's voice note arrived. The campus heartthrob sounded like sunshine personified, youthful, breezy, utterly different from John's smoky maturity. That line about retrieving discarded flowers? Textbook smooth. And he didn't even know who I was. My profile picture, a gothic black bunny, offered zero flirtation cues. So this was Ethan's game, indiscriminate flirting. The ultimate player. Emily's crush turned out to be predictable. Did he accept? Screenshot proof. Emily's follow-up demanded. Emily texted me. I didn't have the guts to screenshot my own meme. Afraid she'd call me out. When I sent it over, she replied confused, Ethan actually uses memes? And he initiated it? Babe, I'm totally shipping this. You'd lose your mind if you heard the voice note. I wanted to block and delete Ethan in one go, but held back. Since breaking up with John, I'd become a hermit, reading, eating, sleeping. Couldn't even bother being Emily's shadow. Emma, meet me at Shuansu Banquet Hall tonight. I've got an event. Wait in the lobby, no cabs late. Mandatory. Emily's orders were final. After John, I figured I shouldn't keep trailing her. What if we ran into him? The fallout would be nuclear. I tried to bail. She didn't let me. Oh. And Emma? Ethan's not broke. Just saw him with Grandpa Chin, turns out he's the old man's grandson? Hold off chasing him till I background check. Emily's call vibrated with excitement. Relief flooded me. Finally. An out from this absurd pursuit. Should I delete him? Honestly. You two are perfect. Same social tier, it's meant to be. Go ahead. I know you're not into him. Emily chuckled. Screen record blocking him though. Prove you don't care. Sure. I'd been ghosting Ethan's messages for days. Avoiding eye contact campus-wide. The cringe was lethal. Post-call. I screen recorded blocking Ethan. Sent the blacklist screenshot for inspection. Dread pooled in my gut. I checked my phone. Oh. Shit. The 2-minute recall window had expired. Emily hadn't replied. Did she see? Why the silence? My palm slipped the phone as apocalyptic scenarios played out. Time oozed. I suffocated in suspense. Too chicken to ask. Have Dan give you the access card at Shuansu. Emma. Ethan's loaded. Grandpa Chen's actual heir. How'd he stay low-key? I'm obsessed. 2 texts arrived as I choked on panic. She hadn't noticed. Oxygen returned like a diver breaching surface. I spam sent memes. Stealthily burying the evidence under chaotic gifs before firing off a motorcycle dash sticker. On my way. Your Highness. Who knew our campus crush had dynasty blood? Only the best for our Emily. As a professional hype woman, I always delivered, serving validation with extra sprinkles. Verbal acrobatics twisting into whatever she needed to hear. Even Emily falls for this kind of thing. My emotions had just gone through a roller coaster ride, from shattered to relieved, as I collapsed back onto my dorm bed. The sky outside had turned dark. But the moment I relaxed, thoughts of John crept back in. Ugh. Pathetic. After hastily applying light makeup, I dragged myself out to pick up Emily. At the Riverside Bistro, I met with Mr. Zhang for the handoff. He passed me car keys and a black card. We're in a rush this trip, this is Mr. Wilson's usual business vehicle. Will Emma be comfortable driving it? Should I arrange a different car? My fingers tightened around the keys. John's car? I instinctively thrust them back, shaking my head. You know me, Mr. Zhang. I couldn't. The older man frowned, then dialed his phone. Yes. The business car's here at Riverside. You're coming now? Good. Hanging up. He turned to me. Emma. Please wait here for Dan. He's bringing Emily's personal vehicle. Dan? My mind buzzed. John's personal driver, the same Dan who'd witnessed every clandestine moment of our year-long secret affair. From chauffeuring us between villas to hotels. Swap keys with him? Hell no. I'm late. I blurted, already backing away. Just leave the replacement keys at reception, I'll grab them later. I bolted before he could protest. Catching my breath in the second-floor lounge, I spotted Ethan leaning against a window frame. Cigarette smoke curled around his athletic frame as he stared into the distance. The ember nearly burning his fingers. If not for John's god-tier looks existing, I might have fallen for this clean-cut athlete type myself. Remembering I'd recently blocked him, though he didn't know it was me. I guiltily edged toward the main hall. His head snapped up, damn those sharp reflexes. "Hey, fancy seeing you here. Ethan." I plastered on a smile. Standing ramrod straight. Should I normally greet him? My memory flashed to days spent wrapped in John's embrace. Had I ever properly acknowledged Ethan during group outings with Emily? He stubbed out his cigarette and closed the distance between us. Scanning the empty corridor. Coming straight for me. "Why did you delete me?" His wounded tone froze my blood, he knew. I stared at my shoes. Brain scrambling for damage control. Was I messaging too much? Did I say something wrong? If his occasional "what's up" texts counted as annoying, then my daily messages to John qualified as full-blown harassment. "What are you talking about?" I blinked innocently. Smile widening. "Deny everything," my survival instinct screamed. "Play dumb until the end." I thought my explanation was flawless. But he stared at me, his gaze gradually darkening. My smile froze midair. My heart pounded violently. What now? Can you re-add someone from the blocked list? Damn it. Why hadn't I thought to create a burner account? Then I could have kept people like John in a separate list. "Emma. What are you doing?" Emily Wilson emerged wearing a designer gown and stilettos that clicked rhythmically against the marble floor. Each sharp clack mirrored the impending doom tightening around my chest. Panic surged through me. I instinctively tried to move toward her, only to realize Ethan Brown still held my waving hand captive behind his back. Shit. I twisted my wrist but couldn't break free. "Emily. We need privacy." Ethan positioned himself as a human shield between us. His voice colder than iced vodka. "No." I started prying at his fingers when the hairs on my neck stood up. I turned slowly. John Wilson stood there in his bespoke suit. His sculpted face twisted into a sardonic smirk I'd never seen before. He walked past without sparing me a glance. His cedarwood cologne lingering mockingly in the air. I'd imagined countless scenarios, but this utter dismissal felt like swallowing broken glass. Hot tears splashed onto my forearm. Why cry? Isn't this exactly what I wanted? "Brother? What are you?" Emily's confused question got cut off by John's arctic command inside. Her fading footsteps mingled with his next words. "I came to get Emma." "Did I hurt you?" "I'm sorry. Emma. Please don't cry." Ethan released me. Flustered. I numbly shook my head. Then another hand seized mine, yanking me against a familiar hard chest. "Emma. My girlfriend." John's voice vibrated with lethal calmness against my ear. "Kid. Keep your hands to yourself." His arms locked around me in a possessiveness that scrambled my thoughts completely. The first thought that crossed my mind was how John Wilson, only 4 years older than us, kept calling Ethan kid. Ethan stood blocking his path with dimmed eyes, staring at me like I was some heartless villain who'd cruelly abandoned an innocent soul. "Wait, hold on. Man. Aren't you the one Emily Wilson's into? Why are you giving me those puppy dog eyes?" At this rate, no amount of explaining could clear my name. "Emma. Is John your boyfriend?" Ethan actually knew John. His gaze burned into me, clearly fishing for a specific answer. Even through my confusion, I started catching on. Could Ethan have feelings for me? My scalp prickled. The arm around my waist tightened. To escape this absurd situation, I nodded hastily, already planning my exit strategy. Ethan's head drooped. He fumbled with a cigarette case, hands trembling so badly he couldn't retrieve one. It hurt to watch. John smirked, clearly enjoying himself, and offered Ethan a cigar. "Try this, kid." Ethan shot him an icy glare. "When you break up, come find me." The words wiped the smirk off John's face. Clutching the cigar, Ethan gave me one last lingering look before descending the stairs. John swept me up bridal style in full public view. Mortifying doesn't even begin to cover it. Passers-by probably thought about calling the cops. When squirming didn't work, I clawed at him. My go-to move that usually works on guys. John finally set me down but dragged me into his car. In the back seat, he crashed his lips against mine, a punishing, possessive kiss. Why let another man hold your hand? He meticulously wiped my fingers with a monogrammed linen cloth. Ethan's just a kid, I retorted, snatching my hand back. John actually looked speechless for once. Emma, if you hate the penthouse, we'll get another. But this sudden cold shoulder? Ghosting me? I don't appreciate the game. His sigh carried genuine frustration. Aren't you getting married? What, keeping me around as your mistress? My words turned razor sharp. The sweet-talking girl who'd shamelessly called him hubby was gone. He ruffled my hair, flicking my forehead. Give me 6 months. No arranged meetings. You're still mine. 6 months? A half-year reprieve before his society wedding? I hated how my traitorous heart leapt at his promise. The moment he said not getting married yet, I was already sinking back into this toxic quicksand. Quitting a game is easy if I don't touch it. But the moment I do, I'm hooked again. Honey, snuggle with me. Ugh. Even I'm cringing at my own audacity. I rolled over and straddled him, missing him like crazy. It's like when you swear off gaming for days, only to relapse harder when you log back in. Jealous John is my new obsession. John, I think I'm screwed. I might love you even more now. Did you miss me these past few days? How'd it feel getting dumped? Mad about it? John rubbed his temples. You're so smooth with the I love yous now. Yet you dropped the breakup bomb without blinking. The man held grudges. I forced a guilty smile. Morning came. I stared blankly at my phone. Time to face the music. How the hell do I explain this to Emily? My head throbbed. When are you telling Emily? I'm done playing detective through her. Emma. When do I get to be official? John stood by the door, already in his tailored suit. Back to his polished Wall Street prince persona, that face could have made him millions as a model. Just, give it more time, he snorted, poking the dimple on my cheek. Do you Wilsons share some weird sibling kink? I swatted his hand away and reluctantly powered up my phone. Emily, WTF Emma? Ethan's gone blind? Since when does he like you? No offense, but if I can't get him, how's he choosing you? Where's my dignity? Emily, dude's mentally ill. My rejection's one thing, but him rejecting me? Certified lunatic. Emily, just found out he only added me to get closer to you. Unfreaking believable. Emily, where'd you vanish last night? My brother dragged me out before I could grill you. Emily, Dan's blowing up my phone, wasn't he on leave? Emily, so hungover. Talk tomorrow. Still can't believe Ethan's delusional ass. She hadn't noticed John and me together. My stomach churned. How do I fix this? I yanked John's arm and bit down hard. This is all your fault. You walking temptation. The unfairly bitten man hissed. He'd been halfway out the door but stormed back, ripping off his freshly tied necktie. Wait. I'm sore, too late. I could barely move by noon. My phone buzzed with Emily's call. Emma. When did Ethan start liking you? No small talk, classic Emily. Charging straight into the minefield. Just found out yesterday. I was stunned. Is Ethan blind? Doesn't like Emily but prefers someone like me? That's insane. I replied while getting dressed and brushing my teeth. Emily snorted. What do I have besides some dirty money? You've got looks and a killer figure. Him falling for you makes perfect sense. Emily, you think the guy you're into cares about appearances? Once you're in the real world, looks mean nothing. Emily can ride untamed horses at her private stable. Play the cello, seriously. Ethan is blind. Silence lingered. After a while, Her muffled voice came through, "You're not lacking either. My family paid for my upbringing. But Emma, you're self-taught. You're not lacking. Forget it, it's just a guy. Ethan's yours now." I gritted my teeth. "Wait. There's something I need to tell you. I think I like your brother now." Dead air. I checked my phone, the call timer was still running. The eerie familiarity of this scene hit me. Suddenly, she exploded, "Are you out of your mind? My iceberg of a brother? The thought alone suffocates me. Emma, have you lost it? We're best friends and you want to be my sister-in-law? Never! Unless you trade me one of your brothers." "I don't have brothers." Checkmate. "If I actually win over your brother, would you hate me?" This was my biggest fear. Impossible. The line went dead. Unclear whether she meant it was impossible to win John over, or impossible not to get angry. Time passed. Emily and I maintained our usual dynamic, her partying with rowdy friends while I cleaned up the mess. The jealousy started. A girl sneered, "Never seen such a shameless leech. Playing maid to Emily at these events? Know your place." My place? I glanced at my designer gown, Emily's birthday gift to me. Easily worth triple that girl's outfit. Aw. Bitter wannabe. Before I could retort, Emily drenched her in red wine. "From now on, it's her or me." The girl paled, that sentence meant social exile. Emily stormed out, dragging me. "Where's that sharp tongue of yours? Emigrated? Letting trash walk over you?" Misunderstanding. I hadn't even warmed up. "Why is my brother contacting you through me?" Emily eyed her dark phone screen suspiciously. No escape. I blurted, "Maybe because I'm his girlfriend?" "His girlfriend's phone died. So he's fishing through you?" Emily stared. Flatly, "Dating for real?" "Dating. When?" "Exactly 1 year." She pressed her tongue against her cheek. I recognized that gesture, it meant she was furious. Absolutely livid. "Emma, you've got some nerve." She shot me an icy glare before storming off, not even letting me into her car. I crouched on the pavement, tears splattering the concrete. I was terrible, unworthy of her friendship, unworthy of John's affection. Why was I like this? I hated myself. Everyone noticed Emily had cut ties with me. A new best friend now shadowed her everywhere, carrying her coffee and backpack. Meanwhile, I buried myself in the library, even losing interest in John. His busy schedule oddly brought me relief. Ethan, however, started appearing more often. It baffled me, how could the campus heartthrob, someone so out of my league, be interested? Listen to yourself. Remarkable people naturally attract attention. Emma, you always overlook your own brilliance. I hadn't realized I'd spoken my thoughts aloud. When I asked why he liked me, he sighed, barely stopping himself from flicking my forehead. "Remember the Middle Eastern delegation we hosted before the semester started?" The interpreter froze mid-session. I frowned. Vague memories resurfacing. You stood up and flawlessly discussed Camel Festival traditions in their regional dialect. His voice softened. The entire room couldn't look away. Silence stretched as I pieced it together. I was that interpreter. He exhaled heavily. His accent threw me off. I nearly humiliated myself publicly. My eyes widened. That had been him? So much for the legendary heart-stopping campus idol. My memory of the event was embarrassingly hazy. He leaned closer. TOEFL 110. YELTS 8.0. Emma, you've dimmed your own light clinging to others. How many people achieve scores like yours? His words cut through mental fog. Liking you was effortless. But if you keep pushing me away, I'll walk. Ethan's gaze held steady warmth. Relief flooded me, his affection had felt like shackles. I doubled down on my routine, shuttling between dorm, library, and dining hall with renewed purpose. No more people-pleasing. Then I crossed paths with Emily downtown. Her new lackey trailed behind, clutching lattes and smirking triumphantly when our eyes met. Emily glanced at me, then away. The lackey, emboldened, deliberately stepped on my sneaker as they passed. Seriously? Emily paused, looked from her friend to me, then walked on without comment. The lackey scurried after her. I shrugged it off. Some battles weren't worth fighting. It really hurt, to be honest. But I deserved it. If our positions were reversed, I probably wouldn't have been as gracious as Emily. The fact that she didn't retaliate viciously was already mercy. Yet somehow, she turned around and came back. Where's that quick wit of yours? You're just going to take being bullied? Are you trying to make me feel worse? Stand up for yourself. She'd seen everything. After all these years of friendship, I knew Emily wasn't exactly domineering, but she never tolerated being wronged or anyone messing with me. I stared at her, tears falling. Her protectiveness warmed my bruised heart. I still haven't forgiven you, but you're going to make that girl regret this right now. She dodged my attempt to hug her, glaring at the pale-faced girl who'd stepped on me. When Emily finally left without reconciliation, I sighed and booked a train ticket home. Every summer I'd clung to her or her brother John. This year, I suddenly didn't know how to keep imposing. A sleeper berth carried me back to my rural hometown, crammed onto a local bus with elderly neighbors and squawking poultry. I lugged my luggage past half-built ghost houses. Our area was being developed into a scenic zone. My parents looked uncomfortable when I arrived. My childhood bedroom had been converted into a rental. Why'd you come back? You never visit in summer. My mother complained, freezing my heart. I turned with my suitcase. Ungrateful girl. Storming off like that, go stay at your uncle's new villa. Charging $700 a night. That greedy, her shouts faded as I walked faster. For 2 days I holed up in a town hotel, wandering aimlessly with my phone off. Mom kept calling about wasting my uncle's vacant rooms. Exhaustion weighted my bones. On the third morning, murmurs rippled through the street. People gawked at a luxury car near the fork in the road, speculating about celebrities inside. My breath caught when I recognized them. Emily and John. Dan. You said you'd driven her here before. Which damn road is it? John crushed his cigarette underfoot, scanning the crowd until his gaze locked on me. In 3 strides he loomed over me. Disappearing act fun. Emma? I blinked. Hadn't I left him a note? Just needed quiet time, darting past him. I ran to Emily. She glared at her mud-splattered boots. I'm still furious. But your family situation, where would you even stay? Our vacation house has your fingerprint access, not that you bothered. Her rant died when I hugged her stiff form. Hotel nights spent barricading doors with furniture flashed through my mind. That she'd come to this backwater for me, you can stay mad forever. I'll always protect my Emily. Disgustingly sentimental. She wrinkled her nose but didn't push me away. I regret it all. Losing our friendship hurts worse than any breakup. The air shifted oddly as John's shadow fell over us. Emily suddenly busied herself brushing non-existent dirt from her jacket. Behind us, Dan the driver waved sheepishly from their hopelessly lost SUV. Even Emily's expression turned grave. Then she looked at me with pity. Damn it. I'm such an airhead. John was still behind us? Dan covered his eyes, unable to watch. John leaned against the car with hands in pockets, staring at me like an ice sculpture radiating chilling aura. Emily slowly pried my hand off hers. In her beautiful eyes, I saw undisguised schadenfreude. Of all people, you had to date my brother. Serves you right. Dan, let's explore the area. It's quite refreshing here. Maybe we should look for a villa to purchase for weekend getaways. Dan promptly drove off with Emily. Some professional ethics just abandoning your employer like that? Not cool. I forced an awkward smile, trying to sneak away when someone grabbed my collar. I truly want to know, am I disposable to you, Emma? This is the second time. Wow. Isn't this my hubby? When did you arrive? I missed you so much. Your sudden appearance totally moved me. I'm about to cry. I spun around and hugged his waist, rambling nonstop without letting him interject. I finally coaxed him into softening his glare after endless sweet talk. When are you all heading back? Dusk approached. Hosting these high-maintenance guests overnight would be headache-inducing. You're kicking me out. His face frosted over again. See? Exhausting to appease. Never. I planned to cling to my hubby all night. My mischievous grin made his ears flush red. He poked my dimple. Emma. We're in public. Oh. Unwilling? Then sleep alone tonight. Guess you've got other women in your heart. John finally snapped, cupping my face. He bit my lip fiercely, completely forgetting who mentioned public decency earlier. Can't believe I became those cringy PDA couples I always despised. I brought them to my uncle's B&B. Emma. This must be the young lady you mentioned. Welcome. Our Emma's been so quiet since childhood. Please be patient with her. My uncle nearly shook Emily's hand before correcting himself, instead enthusiastically gripping Dan's. Quiet? Both Emily and John shot dubious looks. I stared at my shoes. Playing innocent. My uncle funded my education. I invested my savings into renovating his B&B. Like it? Reserved the best mountain view suite for you. I led Emily upstairs. The timber-framed lodge nestled between lake and emerald peaks. The top-floor loft featured 3 glass walls bathing in soft light. Panoramic views stretching beyond the handwritten plaque, frowny face reserved for Miss Wilson. You invested all our earnings here? Emily's gaze softened, recognizing the interior mirrored her exact preferences. MHM. She studied me silently. Emma. No more secrets. My eyes sparkled as I nodded fervently. Her lips twitched upward despite attempted composure, remaining the same proud, overprotective soul who'd always shield me. My brother. That ice-cold guy. Wouldn't he get bored being so emotionally distant? Emily frowned skeptically. Emily. Your brother's actually super repressed. But I shouldn't be telling you this. When I came downstairs, John naturally took my hand. Dan was also looking at me with pity in his eyes. Uncle sipped his wine while continuing to recount my story. My childhood had been brutal, the youngest child who nearly drowned in Grandma's care. Got lost on the mountain with Grandpa. Grew up scrawny doing chores while getting yelled at daily. When Uncle and Aunt took pity and left me leftovers a few times. My parents saw and stopped pretending altogether. They'd starve me. Dump me crying at Uncle's doorstep after beatings. After Aunt's big fight with Mom. I stayed with them permanently. Growing up dependent, I became hyper-aware of social cues. I knew when to make myself invisible. When Uncle tried to get custody, Mom refused. I knew she wanted leverage. In middle school, when she tried to pull me out to work, Uncle caused a scene and paid her off. Fearing my parents would disrupt my studies, he sent me to Aunt's hometown for boarding school. Those years away became my happiest memories. I studied desperately to escape. Then I met John. My first crush hit like lightning. Later I clung to Emily through sheer persistence. This working-class girl suddenly tasting luxury. When Mom saw my improving life, she forced me back home through public shaming. To spare Uncle the drama, I rarely return now. I smiled, cutting off Uncle's hour-long retelling of my trauma to rescue John from my origin story. Stop looking at me like that. Feeling sorry for me? Emma. Let's get married. That escalated quickly. Shouldn't wealthy families arrange marriages? Someone like me? I deflected with jokes. I knew my place, didn't dare hope. Couldn't afford disappointment. John just watched me silently. After showing them local cuisine, we returned to the city. Weeks later, an email arrived: Monterey Institute of International Studies admission letter. My trembling fingers hovered over the subject line. Deep breath. Click. Congratulations on your acceptance to our translation and interpretation program. Tears blurred the screen instantly. Countless study nights flooded back on vocabulary drills. Late-night English podcasts. Endless personal statement revisions with mentors. Emily had gotten her IV offer ages ago. Now I'd caught up. Years of tutoring, wages, and smart investments with Emily's guidance finally funded my quietly nurtured dream. Emma! This is incredible! Emily vibrated with excitement reading the acceptance. I pressed against her shoulder. Nose stinging. Without her, I'd never have seen life's possibilities. When departure day came, John held me at the airport, refusing to let go. The international long-distance romance began. He would fly to visit me occasionally, but I was swamped. Aside from stealing moments to be with him and sleep with him, I spent most days buried in libraries and projects. When the State Department came recruiting at Monterey, I submitted my resume. After several rounds of interviews and tests, I actually got the offer. The day I received my acceptance letter coincided with my return flight home. Emerging from baggage claim, I found him waiting at arrivals with flowers and a ring box. He proposed, again. Corniest, least romantic proposal ever. This time, I didn't hesitate. I finally understood what stood between us was never family background. My former insecurity made me feel unworthy. But now? No more hiding our relationship like some dirty secret. I'd earned my place walking beside him. Ironically, my new career working with top-tier diplomats made him the insecure one. Oh, and the jealousy? Off the charts. Emily dated several guys over the years but never seemed serious. I'll never marry beneath my status, she declared, before eventually settling for an arranged match with John's friend. When I casually mentioned Ethan, she paused to recall, oh right, that guy. Ethan did break into translation like he wanted. Not cut out for business. He grinned, lounging across the cafetable. Rather keep life simple. Sometimes he'd invite me for coffee. That afternoon, he rested his chin on his palm studying me. Emma, 7 languages. Multiple specialties. Do you realize you literally glow in a crowd now? I flushed, waving off the compliment until movement caught my eye. My personal jealousy patrol had arrived. John stood glowering nearby, Dan trailing behind him. Hi, Emma, Dan chirped, gathering my things. I smiled at Ethan. Gotta run. Ethan's gaze flicked between me and John. His lips curled in that infuriating smirk. Call me if you break up. I choked on my latte. The bastard did that on purpose. Turning to John, I saw exactly what I expected, jaw clenched tight enough to crack walnuts. Murder in his eyes. Perfect. 5 words just reset my insecure sweetheart to DEFCON 1. Again. The end.